One morning, two travelers, Thomas and William, stood at the entrance of a vast forest. They were on their way to a distant village, seeking work and new opportunities. The sun shone brightly, casting long shadows on the ground as they examined the two paths before them. The first path was short and seemed easy. It was wide, smooth, and straight, cutting through the forest in a direct line. "This is the best way," William said confidently. "It will get us there quickly with little effort." The second path was much longer. It twisted and turned, disappearing into the hills beyond the trees. The road looked rough, with stones and steep inclines. Thomas studied it carefully. "This one may take longer, but it might be worth the journey," he said thoughtfully. William shook his head. "Why waste time? We should take the short path and reach the village as soon as possible." Thomas hesitated but finally nodded. "Very well. Let's go." The two men stepped onto the short path. At first, it was easy. They walked quickly, enjoying the smooth road. But soon, things changed. The ground became muddy, making it hard to walk. Mosquitoes swarmed around them, biting their arms and faces. The trees grew so thick that little sunlight could pass through, making the air damp and heavy. After a few hours, they reached a river. The bridge that once connected both sides had collapsed. "What do we do now?" William asked, frustrated. Thomas sighed. "We have to turn back. There's no way to cross." With heavy hearts, they retraced their steps, arriving back at the starting point, tired and disappointed. "We lost an entire day," William muttered. "Now we have no choice but to take the long path." They set off on the winding road. The journey was slow, but the path was solid beneath their feet. Along the way, they met a kind farmer who offered them fresh water. Later, they found an old traveler who shared stories of the village and gave them advice on finding work. As they climbed the hills, they saw breathtaking views of the valley below, filling them with a sense of peace and wonder. At sunset, they finally reached the village. Their legs ached, but their spirits were high. "This path took longer," Thomas said, "but it was full of wisdom, kindness, and beauty." William nodded. "I was too focused on reaching the end quickly. I see now that the journey itself is just as important." The next morning, as they stepped into their new lives, they understood a great truth: the easiest way is not always the best. Some paths take longer, but they teach us lessons we carry forever. If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe.